General Hospital spoilers suggest that Brook Lynn Quartermaine is heading toward a deeply personal crossroads, and her marriage to Harrison Chase may soon face one of its most serious tests yet. While Chase is eager to move forward and build a family through adoption, Brook Lynn may no longer feel confident that the timing, or her husband, is right. What should be a hopeful conversation about their future could instead turn into a sobering reality check that forces Brook Lynn to protect her heart and her values. Later in the week of January 26-30, Brook Lynn and Chase are expected to sit down and talk about what comes next for them as a couple. On the surface, Chase believes this conversation will finally lead to progress, especially since adoption has long been his dream after learning he can't have biological children. He's ready to pour his love into becoming a father and seems convinced that Brook Lynn will be on the same page. However, Brook Lynn's perspective is far more complicated, and recent events may have pushed her further away from saying yes. Brook Lynn has always taken the idea of motherhood seriously, and her hesitation isn't rooted in fear of commitment, but in responsibility. Fans will remember that she previously slowed things down when her relationship with Giovanni "Gio" Palmieri was still fragile. Giving Gio up as a baby was one of the most painful decisions of Brook Lynn's life, and she has carried that emotional weight ever since. When the idea of adoption first came up, Brook Lynn worried deeply about how Gio might react to her bringing another child into her life. In her heart, she wanted any future child to grow up feeling loved, secure, and included, not like a replacement or a reminder of past trauma. Now that Brook Lynn and Gio are finally reconnecting and beginning to heal old wounds, Chase likely believes the biggest obstacle has been removed. From his point of view, the timing finally feels right. But Brook Lynn may see things very differently, especially after witnessing Chase's increasingly reckless behavior. The situation takes a troubling turn following Chase's explosive confrontation with Michael Corinthos. When Brook Lynn sees Chase bruised and battered, her concern quickly shifts to alarm. As she presses him for answers, Chase may admit that he threw the first punch, a confession that hits Brook Lynn hard. For her, this isn't just about a fight, it's about impulse control, emotional stability, and what kind of example Chase is setting. Brook Lynn has worked hard to grow into a calmer, more thoughtful version of herself, and she expects the same emotional maturity from her partner. Seeing Chase lose control, especially inside the Quartermaine mansion, raises serious red flags. This isn't a barroom scuffle or a moment of self-defense. It's a volatile outburst that could have had serious consequences. Brook Lynn may point out that children live in that house and that one of them could have walked in at any moment. That realization alone could be enough to stop any talk of adoption in its tracks. Complicating matters even further is Chase's long-standing obsession with Willow Kane and her legal fate. For months, Chase has been consumed by the case, risking his career, his freedom, and his marriage in the process. His actions have already drawn the ire of Ada Justine Turner, who believes Chase compromised the case and crossed ethical lines. The threat of prison time was a wake-up call, but perhaps not enough of one. Now, with Chase spiraling into physical confrontations and professional fallout, Brook Lynn may be forced to ask herself some painful questions. Is this really the man she wants to raise a child with? Can she trust Chase to put a child's safety and emotional well-being above his own impulses and obsessions? And most importantly, is Chase ready to grow up in the way fatherhood demands? Brook Lynn may ultimately shut down the adoption conversation altogether, at least for now. She might make it clear that love alone isn't enough, that stability, self-control, and emotional presence matter just as much. Before she can even consider expanding their family, Brook Lynn may insist that Chase take responsibility for his actions and prove that he's capable of being the kind of father a child deserves. This moment could mark a turning point in Brook Lynn and Chase's marriage. While Chase sees adoption as a path forward, Brook Lynn may see it as a risk she's not willing to take until real change happens. The tension between them isn't about whether they want a family, it's about whether they're truly ready for one. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Brook Lynn and Chase's dreams of parenthood may be put on hold as tough truths come to light. With emotions running high and trust on shaky ground, the road ahead looks anything but easy. Stay tuned, because this difficult conversation could reshape their future in ways neither of them expects.